With AY Live's 2016 UK tour around the corner, Vox Africa TV invited the show's promoter Nollypeek Evans and comedian Emeka Smith to the studio to discuss the upcoming tour, strains of being a promoter, and what it takes to come up with classic jokes that get an audience to LOL.
My name is Evans Sulekamara, CEO of Nollypeek Entertainment. We did the first AY Live last year, and I think it was a project that was driven out of a passion for entertainment. Yeah, so I'm kind of person that I love to see people laugh, smile. You know, UK, London is very stressful, so anything you can put aside to ease people's tension, to make people to relax, give them an atmosphere to just forget about the stress, forget about the work, just come have fun. That was the passion behind the AY Life, yeah. As a promoter, people think you have an easy life. You don't have an easy life. You're under immense pressure. You know, you're thinking, oh, is the work permit going to come out? Is it going to come out on time? You're thinking about promotion. You're thinking about ticket sales. Your brain is just thinking, you know, busy 24/7. So it's not easy being a promoter. This year's show we decided to do what is called 100% comedy. No musical art, just comedy, strictly comedy. So we have big names like Agodai, Okebakasi, Gandoki, Elenu, Kenny Black. We have Wellmouth coming, and we have Emeka Smith, who's with me here in the studio.
My name is Emeka Onochie Adigu. I'm popularly known as Emeka Smith.
I don't know when I tell her, Madam, now God bring you come. I beg, give me plantain chips. She can't carry one pack. Give me. And you know plantain chips now, one they take a pastor they preach and they chop one. Pastor they preach. Plantain chips don't remain two. Make it finish. Then pastor can say, the Lord is saying something here. The Lord is saying there's some witches and wizards in this hall. If you don't stand up now, you are dying tomorrow morning. The Lord wants to redeem you. Woman will give me plantain chips. Come begin stand up. Now me come they tell her, Madam, no be you pastor they talk to.
If anybody should ask me, what do you want to be in future? I will tell them I want to be a comic actor. So I mistakenly told my dad that when he asked me. You know, I was young, I didn't know the consequences. I didn't know. My dad looked at comic actors like fools, like idiots, you know, let me just use that word, like, you know, people low life, people that, you know. So he just, you know, we're just happy at home, and he asked me, Emeka, what do you want to be in future? And I said, a comic actor. He now said, like, can you give examples of the comic actors? And I said, Chief Zebudaya. If you see slap. As in, that was from that day I started hiding. I started having this complex of saying what I want to be in future. You know, to be very sincere, even apart from my parents, even when people ask me outside, though I had love for acting, I would just lie that I want to be just to please you, you know. So, but growing up, I just noticed that, man, my life was just going towards the acting thing, you know. Fine, it's not as if I was that excellent in school, you know. I was not that, you know, like those scholars, you know. And you know, for you to study medicine, you have to be in science class. If you don't know anything commercial, if you don't know at all art, and I fell into art. I started acting in church, you know. I formed a drama group in church. We started acting, you know, church drama now, you must give your life to Christ. So at the end, people started telling me that, man, each time you act, we keep laughing. We don't even get the message anymore. You know, we laugh and forget we need to give our life to Christ, you know. So people started advising me, I think you need to go into stand-up. I didn't even know what was stand-up comedy, to be very sincere. I didn't know you could actually make a living through stand-up comedy. You know, so I was just an actor in church. I wasn't even doing the movies thing, you know, the movies you all know, just stage church comedy, you know. Then I now thought of it. I think we had a program in church, and they were looking for somebody to anchor it. You know, someone now said, Emeka is funny now. let him anchor the program. It was like a youth program. That was my first time of even doing stand-up comedy. I now said, okay, fine. So at intervals, I was telling jokes and introducing the program. And I noticed the laughter I got from the reaction, the way people were laughing was even more than when I was acting. You know, after that day, because different churches came for the program, after that day, they started inviting me to go to this church. This church would call me, hey, Emeka, that thing you did in your church, we want you to do it in our church. Before you know, of course, there are members there. People start, you know, from there, weddings, from there, from there, you just start, before you know, wow, that's it.
I'll give you 3 million.
Okay, 3 million. You think money can buy love? You think money can buy love because you have money? I just they respect you. Money cannot buy love. I love you. I'll die for you. Money can't buy love. Wait, 3 million for what?
Sam, you're making so much more. I know a lot of people start coming down here thinking that there's something going down. You know, nothing's going down. I'm going to offer you 5 million.
5 million?
Yeah.
This is the greatest insult I don't see for my life. As a man, somebody they give me 5 million for my love. Oga, you they pay cash or check?
Baby.
My major break was the AY's open mic night competition, where like 120 young comedians that came for the audition, and they had to select 10. And I was among the 10. And among the 10, they needed one winner, and I won. So that was the major break. We were the first set of comedians he paraded on the show. The very first AY live he did in his life. Were the first comedians. I was among the first comedians that performed on that show. So we've done AY live. We've done Lagos so many times. We've done AY live in Port Harcourt. We've done AY live in Abuja. We've done AY live in Benin. You know, I'm making you understand it's a show I'm always on. You know, we've done London before. We're doing London again. So it's I'm always prepared for the show because it's like in Nigeria, AY live is like the World Cup. It's like the World Cup of Nigerian comedy. You know, when you see teams coming to play the World Cup, they put in so much to be the best, to come out to hold the trophy. That's how AY Live is. Every comedian wants to steal the show. Every comedian wants to be that comedian. They will point out that, man, this guy is bad.
Coming to the AY Life, I think picking up the artists is done by the people in Nigeria. They send me names of people that they think are good. Then I research on them and I tell them, okay, this person, I want this person, I want that person, take this person out. So that's how we sort start, yeah.
But we need to be close to the promoter so that they don't take your name out all the time. That's why we always call them, bros, how far? How is your family? The way I come up with my jokes, it's in Nigeria, it's difficult to actually place a joke to yourself, because to actually endorse your joke, because if you come up with a classic joke, there's what we call classic joke. A classic is a joke you could tell anywhere and it cracks people up. There's some jokes you tell in church you can't tell in the mosques. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. There's some jokes you could tell the Christians, but you can't say those jokes to the Muslims. Classics are jokes that you could tell anywhere, in the church, weddings, comedy shows, anywhere, and they'll still crack people up. So, but in Nigeria, once you have those kind of jokes, there's no board, there's no like an organization, or there's no place you could go register the joke that this is my joke. So once you create such jokes, you tell it in maybe in one popular show, there are some other comedians sitting down there watching you that have other platforms that you don't have. They cram the joke, go to their platforms, tell the jokes. People who come to their shows will just believe, man, this guy is creative. They don't know that The joke was stolen. So it's a problem. It's a problem. But how I get my jokes is, I tell people, if you're creative, you will never run dry, no matter how they steal your jokes. Once God has placed it in you, He will always make a way for you. Even when they steal, He will keep, bringing new ideas to you. But the way I personally get my jokes is happenings. I have a lot of friends and I hang out a lot. I tell people, hanging out with like 5 guys, if you're a smart and intelligent comedian, hanging out with 5 guys for like 5 hours, you could get 2 classics, because we talk a lot. There are some guys that could be very funny while discussing, but they can't tell those things on stage. So as a comedian, those funny things you guys say, you pick it, go home, refine it, package it, and deliver it to the audience. Something no one else knows, only me. I'm the only one that know that thing. Okay, me and the person that did that thing, no. But it's nothing bad, actually. It's nothing bad. It was just a wedding I anchored. The guy promised me that after the wedding, he was going to pay me. I looked at him as a big man. So very big wedding. I did the wedding. And after the wedding, I started calling this guy up to pay me. It happened like 2 years ago. Till date, he dodged me till date. But I didn't tell anybody that. Nobody knew about that. Nobody knew, only me. I just let it go. May God judge this guy. He pay me, he pay me. So only me and him. I'm sure his wife too does not know that he did that thing. He didn't pay me till date, And I've lost contact with him. And
when I was growing up, there's this because one of our big cousins used to live with us, and there's this guy that's always coming to visit her. So we didn't really like the guy. So I personally didn't like the guy because the guy was stingy. The guy I know they drop. The guy I know they drop, he just come, speak big English and just go with my big cousin then. So what I used to do is, anytime he park his car, I'll go and deflate the tires. I'm sure you'll be watching him saying, you are the one doing that thing. Yeah, so that's what I used to do. So they were like, what is happening? I did that a couple of times and nobody found out it was me. AY life is a muscle. If you know come AY life, you go get bad dream.